Today's question is about how do you keep your project organized on your computer? This is the Creative Crafters Podcast. Hi, I'm Bette from Bette's Makes, and this is your questions answered. Now, that is the biggest problem, especially when you start downloading a lot of files and you need a way to keep them organized. What I find is I download a bunch and I put them in a pile in a folder called downloadables, and then all of a sudden it becomes extremely overwhelming. So what I tend to do, even though I may keep a folder like that, is when I'm starting a project, I have a master folder called Projects in Progress. And inside each one, I put a folder for the project I'm working on. For example, today I was working on designing a heart purse, and I had a whole bunch of parts and pieces. So all the parts and pieces and downloadables and fonts and everything to do with the heart purse went into that heart purse folder. So the next time I wanted to take a look and see what I had done for the heart purse and what files I had, everything was in one place, and that was Projects on the Go. Once I have finished a project, I've taken an image of it, and of course I've got SVG files and PNG files, and any embellishments that I have added are all in that folder. I move them over to a project's completed folder and keep everything in there inside folders, and that way it's easy for me to go back. The biggest issue is when you start downloading a lot of things from, say, font bundles, design bundles, Creative Fabrica, and many other places, that you tend to get a lot of items going. So the easiest way there, even though I dump them all into a downloads folder, inside that I might put seasons. So I might put, spring, winter, summer, fall, if things fall into those places. Birthdays, anniversaries, I can dump them in there. And if there is a bunch that, just don't fit in any one of those, I do make a miscellaneous one, and it does tend to get bigger, so then I have to go in and sort of sort them out from there. But if you can do the basic thing of just, your projects you're working on, a folder for each project, and then when you've completed it, move it over to another folder so it leaves some room for you to see what you're working on. Now, if you're like me, I work on 10 to 20 different projects at a time, so it can get quite full, and quite often I'm searching for things on the web, images, pictures that I can base my designs on. I do have to place those into the folder because it would be totally overwhelming. So advice, make a folder, make folders in categories that make sense to you, and then put things in those folders. Try not to leave anything in your miscellaneous if you can help it, because it will become overwhelming. I hope this helps you a little bit, and this has been the Creative Crafters Podcast and your questions answered.